it's Doc.
And Patty.
And welcome to the channel. And we did a thing. We flew to New York City to buy a classic car. And while we're driving out, we ran into a Cars and Coffee.
Amazing.
So we're going to let you guess which car we bought. So, could it be this cool RX-7?
Oh no.
Maybe. Or
I can see me driving down the street in that.
that could be you. Or a Corolla. Look at that. Here's another Corolla. Looking good. But there it is.
What is that?
That is what we bought. 1988 Merkur XR4Ti. And we're driving it back to Iowa.
I didn't buy one. And now that they're like rare and find one to go a lot, I was kicking myself in the ass for not buying one.
I've searched probably for 4 years.
Yeah. This is really your first time seeing one of these?
Yeah, I've never seen one of them.
I told Patty when we pulled in here, I said, this is literally the only place on earth that someone would appreciate this car.
So we finally made it like 100 miles from where we bought the car.
Yep.
We were able to get out of the city traffic. We ran into that very cool Cars and Coffee thing, so we kind of diverted there for a bit. Now, we're going to show you the car. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on the car because really this is just as much about the trip. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll take a look at the car. There she is in all her glory. And I'd say it's a pretty awesome buy, wouldn't you?
Actually, yeah. I think it's been kind of an exciting ride. I mean, going from Long Island to New Jersey, it was an interesting drive.
We were a little bit worried, you know, this being a 36-year-old car, that there would be something that was not disclosed when we bought it. Thought there might be weird smells or something like that.
Yep.
But really, the previous owner has been fantastic. He actually held this car for 2 months for me until I could get out here. He's been just awesome. He's been a great caretaker of this car. So the quick story behind this car is, and I'll do another video that will actually detail this car because it's awesome. The quick story is, this has had 4 previous owners. The owner before the last owner was, he's an individual, he pumped a lot of money into this car. He actually put about $10,000 in parts and probably another $5,000 in labor into this car. And basically it was everything that you can imagine that a car that had been sitting would require. So a lot of seals, a lot of, some electronic stuff. There's an axle or two.
Just about everything except a new paint job.
Yeah, the paint job is awful. And it's so awful, I think I love it. I think I can't.
It looks like it has seen some sunny days.
And this is a true survivor. This is 88,000 miles.
Yep.
It drives and runs like it's got 25,000 miles on it.
Well, and I know you've always been interested in it, but I didn't maybe realize its allure until we pulled into that Coffee and Cars this morning and the guys' heads all started turning. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's probably the only place in the world that this car would be truly appreciated. But just taking a quick scan around it, and then we're going to get back on the road, have a little bit of fun today. It looks just so wonderful. And like I said, until you get close. So it's probably what they call a 20-foot paint job, where it looks close until, or it looks good until you get close to it. Then you can start seeing all of the sun damage. Now this is kind of interesting. It's got Cosworth lights on it. Someone actually installed those, took the trouble of installing those. So those are very nice and very cool. And
the black trim looks really nice. I don't know if it's going to continue to look nice. Did someone, armor all it or something to make it look great?
It's grown on me. I've always liked the monocolor ones better, but this has grown on me. I initially thought that, I bought this big Sierra 500 wing, RS 500 wing, and I thought, I might convert this to, a pseudo RS 500, but it's just so beautiful as a survivor.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I can do it. And the wheels look good. It's got newer tires on it, and it does have a little bit of an exhaust on it, which is good because the old exhaust probably rotted off. But it's completely rust free. We can go back here to where we can see my homemade temporary plates, because Iowa doesn't have temporary plates. So what I did was basically I put all of the information that a police officer would look for on the inside and I put it on the outside.
Yeah,
so
it looks good.
Yeah, I don't know,
It works.
Hope I didn't commit any crimes.
Well,
doing
we've
that.
seen a lot of emergency vehicles and police officers.
Here's a good. All right, so the funniest thing just happened. I think I've shown you guys the temporary plate that I made because we didn't have anything. We're in Ohio right now, and there are troopers all over the place. We had one pulling behind us as we're driving, spent a very long time in my blind spot, went back and forth. I could tell he was checking out the plate. I wasn't sure how this was going to end up. And then eventually, there were two guys actually in the car. He pulls very slowly past me, and the passenger gives me the victory sign. So I'm not sure what that means, but we didn't get pulled over. Like 87.
Oh, then we rented one.
We
in
rented one,
Phoenix.
and
Correct.
I'll put up some pictures of us renting the car, and we are probably one of the inspiring reasons why they no longer rent cars to people under the age of 25. But again, the car looks great. You give you an idea of the sun damage on there. Just take a look at that.
Yeah,
That
the
looks
wing
awful.
especially.
Yeah,
just
the
is
wing
bubbled
especially.
up, but
the wheels look good. It has newer tires. We'll take
Yep.
a quick peek at the inside here, just so you can see how nice the interior is.
we do have it full of things because we're traveling cross country.
Right,
but-
and this was a very well-optioned car. For leather was an option.
Right.
I think there were a few other options. We'll give you a little bit of a close look here. Again, I'll go over this in big detail.
We were a bit
when we do
concerned
the
about the air
video.
conditioning, but it got going after a
The
while.
air conditioning, yeah, it kind of delayed air conditioning
Once the
effect.
hamster wheel got warmed up, it was good.
Okay, I'm going to give you the camera for a second. I'm
Okay.
going to open the hood. Alrighty. So we'll give you a quick look here. Again, largely stock. Essentially, this is a turbocharged Pinto motor, and it puts out a whopping 175 horsepower, 0 to 60 in like 8.5 seconds, which sounds slow by today's standards, but back then it was actually very quick. I think it pulled like a 16-second quarter mile. But overall, just a beautiful engine bay, very, very original. This is hard to find because, as cool cars depreciate so much, generally teenagers get a hold of them and try to do their modifications, and you end up with something that's not so great. But essentially, that is the quick rundown of the new Merkur Ford Work AG Köln, Germany. I'm probably butchered that. And we're getting back on the road. What do you think?
All right, I think we should hit the road.
Let's go. So the one oddity that we have found about this car is that the gas gauge is completely not reliable. As you can see, it says that there's a quarter of a tank of gas. It was full 60 miles ago, so you can see the trip odometer says 63 miles. Actually, that's why we pulled over originally, was the gas gauge was going down so fast, I thought we had a hole in the tank.
It was a little frightening there for a while.
And which, that's how we found that's how we found the cars and coffee place.
Yeah.
But we found out that we were making 20 miles a gallon, so we're just going to have to track that as far as the trip odometer and have some faith in it. In all fairness to the previous owner, he did forewarn me a little bit. And traffic's getting weird here. Sure, we're going to keep doing it. And he told me that if the gas gauge if the light turns on, I got a gallon left and I better find a gas station. So at its very fullest, it's 3/4.
Okay.
But
And the trip set.
yeah, trip set. And we know we're getting roughly 20 miles a gallon.
Yep.
So if we stop and fill up every 120 miles,
Okay.
we'll have to pee by then.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool for the Merkur to get some love.
But speaking of cool, I think he needs his Freon recharge.
Yeah, there's a little bit of air coming out. I don't know. I think it's more the fan. I don't think it's the air part.
Yeah, I don't think there's air actually, like a compressor.
So we got hot dog, fries, pierogi, Italian sausage, or just sausage, I guess.
This hot dog is mustard, onions, and some kind of chili sauce.
The Yoko's special.
The yolk.
Okay, just had the hot dog. The hot dog wins over the sausage, I think. It's a lot of mustard, a lot of spicy mustard. Really, really good. So if you go to Yoko's, definitely the Yoko's hot dog is the bomb. The tollways are proving to be extensive. I'm glad I brought a lot of singles.
Like you pull up to the window, the last one, $15.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, what?
Hi. Thank you.
Thank you.
The toll people are so nice here.
I know. They really are.
It's like they're robbing you of your money and thanking you.
They must get paid well.
Where's the Merkur? It looks so funny in there. Day 2.
Day 2.
And take 93 on this. Anyways.
Oh, we learned a few things yesterday.
We did, and most of them good. I mean, we had a good day, a long day yesterday. So we put about 450 miles on the Merkur yesterday. We got about 23 to 25 miles to the gallon, and we cruised very easily at 70, 75 miles an hour, which is weird because Pennsylvania, all their interstates seem like 55, but no one does remotely that speed. So just to keep up, we put the pedal to the metal and we kept up with everybody real nicely. What did we learn? We learned that
we shouldn't drive in the dark.
Yes, we did learn. So the headlight conversion on the car, and again, I can't blame the previous owner for this because he probably never drove the car in the dark, because you know it's an old car.
Yeah.
And those headlights don't put out anything. I mean, really, there's enough light from those headlights to be seen, but not to see.
And that's when they're in the bright mode.
Right. That's in high beams. So we ended up. Luckily, we made it to our hotel and restaurant right as it was getting dark, but it was getting pretty obvious that there was no light, and the taillights are not much better.
No, they're not. They're like 2 red graham crackers is about all they have on the back of the car.
So I foresee a LED conversion somewhere down the line. Then we had the air conditioning issue, which again can't fault the previous owner. It's just probably just needs a recharge or something. Yeah. And then we ran out of our power outlets, or we ran out of power because the power outlets weren't actually charging anything.
AKA cigarette lighters.
Cigarette lighters. Yes. So apparently 1987 cigarette lighters don't charge anything.
I thought it would work, but...
You'd think so. So that's really it. We're going to get back on the road today. Today's going to be an easier day. We got probably 300 miles today. We're going to go hit the Dayton Air Museum, and we're going to have some fun. Yeah. So come and join us. Andy's going to teach me how to use the cruise control on this because it's alien.
All right. It might take me a bit. Let's see. That's not right. on-off rocker switch, which we just talked about, is located on the left-hand side of the instrument panel. The switch used to set the speed control is located on the turn signal flash to pass high beam lever. There it is. To set the speed, press the on rocker switch and accelerate to the desired speed. Press the set decel switch momentarily. Release the accelerator pedal and the set speed will be maintained. Working?
It is. Exciting. Cruise control. All right, roast it.
No, I mean, seriously, I'm amazed you got here. How many miles from New York to here?
Oh gosh, 800 probably.
So, I mean, to get in a 36-year-old car that's been sitting for who knows how long and make it this far,
It's a testament to the previous owner. So it really hasn't been sitting. He's been driving it. He's been doing a lot of troubleshooting, stuff like that. So other than the stuff that we found on the way, it's been a pretty darn good car.
I mean, cosmetically, yes, okay, the paint's a little tired, okay? But, you know, paint doesn't stop you from driving 800 miles. I mean, that's
Right.
That's the amazing part. I mean, I had a 72 Corvette that I was nervous driving 15 miles to Cars and Coffee.
I think the patina actually adds.
Oh yeah, well, it's a Survivor. It adds, you know, you want that. I like the headlights.
Yeah, those are European. Those are the Cosworth headlights. They don't work with this shit, but they're pretty good.
And I see all sorts of guys who put different wheels on them, but these are the wheels I've always associated with Merkurs.
Right, and actually there's a more attractive wheel of that style that the RS500s had, which I may switch to, but it's like $2,500 to get the wheels.
I mean, really,
just to get away from the 15-inch tires.
I mean, the big thing wrong with this car is that the wing's too small in the back.
Well, we fixed that because Mark helped me procure, I don't know if you can see it in there, there's a giant RS500 wing, which honestly, I honestly don't know if I'm going to use it or not, just because this thing is so original and so cool.
Then back to the wing. That wing was the most random place you could imagine. It was like a hot rod shop, a motorcycle shop, and there's all these weird, you know, projects going on, and there's that thing sitting in the corner. Like, where did this guy come up with this wing? Why does he even have this wing?
According to his ad, he said it was they found it in the back of a body shop, and no one knew what it was, and he figured out what it was.
This place was kind of like the flea market of as far as of car parts.
Pull the door open, take a look.
And that's a pretty good looking dash. And those are leather seats?
This is probably the highest option Merkur there was.
I mean, for 36-year-old leather and that dash, that is a remarkably good looking interior.
Well, especially with the amount of sun damage it has. How did it get that dash and all this sun damage, but the dash that wasn't destroyed?
But
Because
you know what? This
that.
car was ahead of its time. Because remember how in the 90s all the cars, the clear coat came off and stuff?
Yeah.
This car was ahead of its time. It was the late 80s and the clear coat's coming off.
True. I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
But the interior is just immaculate. All the plastic, everything like it fits well. It looks really good.
It's funny, the sunroof works well. We've been using the sunroof a lot because the air is not working. So,
but I understand you were hoping it would thunderstorm so you could check out the sunroof to see if it leaked.
I know.
All right, and there's the legendary Pinto motor.
All right, so I want your opinion on the motor. There have been a couple of updates to the motor. This module used to be sitting back here and it would overheat and the car wouldn't start.
Well, yeah, I'd say if you put it right next to the blower, of course it would overheat.
Right. So that was kind of a typical thing, was you'd pull into a gas station and stop, and then the car wouldn't start again.
And then the couple guys I know that they've upgraded to intercoolers. This is the stock intercooler on here.
There's no intercooler.
There's no intercooler.
Right.
Well, no wonder. Okay.
So what they would do is they'd take an intercooler off of an SVO Mustang, I think, and put it on.
Or a T-Bird maybe.
Or T-Bird. But the problem is you put an intercooler on, then you get more power, but you also have more lag.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually been recommended that you don't put the intercooler on.
Again, this motor is pretty bulletproof in all the Sports Racer 2000s I see at the racetrack.
It certainly seemed to have a lot of oil. Is that normal for?
It might be blow-by.
Just, you think so?
You got to run a blower. I would expect some blow-by.
Right.
That's not a big surprise. I mean, how much oil have you used?
I have no idea. I haven't checked.
Well, that's not the answer I was looking for, Andy. Not with an 800-mile road trip. I'd hope you check the oil at least once.
I honestly haven't, so it'd probably be a good idea.
Maybe the trip is more adventurous than we thought. But no, that's, again, clean-looking engine compartment. Everything looks bone stock.
Yeah, that's the important part of it. Is everything is bone stock, except for they replaced the radiator. If you tuck your head in there, you can see what they did. And
it looks
this
like
car has not even come remotely close to wanting to overheat.
Yeah, it looks like a nice aftermarket aluminum. That's huge.
Yeah,
looks good.
They did a good job with that.
Yeah.
So, all right, anything you want to roast on it? Give me the bad.
I'm going to give this a 8 out of 10 for purchase wise. I mean, as far as the paint's tired, but
well, I paid a premium for it, I think, but
still,
like I said, aesthetics we can deal with. Mechanically, it's so good.
Again, that paint doesn't stop you from driving. What's going to be? Oh, by the time you get home, 1,200 miles maybe.
Probably.
Yeah. And that's a pretty adventurous road trip with a 36-year-old car.
And originality is everything with this thing.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons I bought it. Again, previous owner was awesome. He did a lot of sorting with this thing, and it shows because I've made it this far.
Well, especially originality, because these things were legendary for being hot rodded. Guys who bought them would modify the hell out of them, especially the engine compartment. So to have it be where it's this stock with all the original admission pieces and stuff, that's pretty much untouched.
Yeah,
it's a survivor. That's why you wouldn't touch the paint.
And the previous owner was big on using Motorcraft only parts too.
Again, it's a survivor, so that because the paint. I mean, if this was a Corvette and you had this level of originality and the paint stuff, they would actually give you extra points for having the original paint. The fact that it had not been repainted. So
yeah, but if this is original '88 Corvette, it'd be trash.
Well, if it was an original 72 or 65 Corvette, they'd be going nuts over it.
There you go, exactly.
Originality-wise.
Well, people who know what this is go nuts over it when they see it.
Yeah. No,
all right. Well, we got to beat the weather, so we're going to be rushing home now.
Sounds good.
Thanks for meeting us for breakfast and bringing me that wing. That is not looking good.
We are right in the middle of this.
And we did it.
3 days.
1,100 miles, and the Merkur XR4Ti did a wonderful job in getting us here with no problems. Now, you won't see a lot of footage from today because it was an awful weather day, but thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you out there.
Bye.